Welcome, welcome. Andrew LeBaron here with Motel to Apartment Conversions. We got Blaine, we got Jacob, and we're getting better and better at these weekly webinars. Hopefully the music inspired you. That is original to StreamYard. Someday we're going to have our own gig and our own music and our own DJ, but that is not today. Thanks for joining us. Guys, exciting times. We're going to be talking about, for those that are joining, we're going to be talking about the one thing that matters the most. And if you're watching this, you're probably a broker, you're probably an agent, you're probably a wholesaler, you're probably an investor, you might be a motel owner yourself, you might know someone who has a motel or a hotel. We're going to talk about how you get paid to work with us. Probably the most important part. Nobody really cares about really anything else unless you get paid, right? And I think it's reasonable. This slide, I love this slide. This is our friend Dahlia. Dahlia recently got paid. She sent us a deal out of Brownsville, Texas. It was a sweet deal. We're going to talk about the terms of that deal, but she got $104,000. Really by, and please don't take this the wrong way, by really doing nothing but sending sending us the deal. Blaine's kind of nodding his head. Yeah, it's just true, dude. Not doing a whole lot, but that's okay. She didn't have to do a whole lot. She allowed us to work directly with the seller, which is how we prefer to work. And we were able to negotiate some really sweet terms that worked for the seller and worked for us. And then she got $1,000,000 wired to her account. So it was a good day for Dahlia. We're going to talk about some of the bonus or the compensations that we are writing out to a lot of these, or check writing, to these brokers and agents. A little bit about us. I'm Andrew. I've been doing real estate for about 10 years, 150 plus flips under my belt. Wholesaling, buying, fix and flipping, holding, so on and so forth. Partner on this call is Jacob. Jacob is an extremely intelligent specimen, and he's the brain of the operation. Jacob and I met in the mission field a long time ago in South Chile. One of these times we're going to do an all Spanish presentation to South American investors, hopefully. Richard Wilson is the president and CEO of Family Office Club, and he connects us with big capital. And Blaine, last but not least, is our driver. He finds vets and underwrites these wonderful deals that you'll be sending us that we're going to eventually look at. So the point of contact that you guys will have, for the most part, will be with Blaine. We just finished a 29-unit conversion in McAllen, Texas. We want to show you a video of this conversion. Take a look at what we were able to do. I'm Andrew LeBaron of Motel to Apartment Conversions, and we are here in beautiful McAllen, Texas, wrapping up 29 motel to apartment conversions. This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily asset. We were able to buy this property with very little down. We paid $0 monthly, 0% interest. And we took all that cash that we saved, and we were able to put it right back into the property, and we called it Studios on 4th. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee. And if you missed out on this opportunity, that's okay. We have plenty more in the pipeline. Just make sure to follow us at motelstoapartments.com. It's always a good time. Oh, I love that video. Um, this property yielded a $36,000 payout. Now, I mentioned that the place was pretty gross in the video. As you saw, it was actually a brothel. It was a place where people rented by the hour. Use your imagination. Um, Esteban reached out to us and said, "Hey, I got this deal. It's in pretty crappy shape, underperforming hotel or motel rather. We bought it. We closed quickly, and the terms of that deal were also really sweet. You saw in the video what the terms were. He was able to get paid pretty quickly, which we are a no hassle company to work with as long as we're able to work directly with the owner. We sign NDAs with you, so if you bring a deal, we're going to sign an NDA. We want to protect your rights to the opportunity, and from there we close, and everybody gets a check.
Yeah. So, like Andrew said, this property studio is on Fourth. It was brought to us by Esteban, and we ended up closing on it December 2022. Once we started renovations, it was about a 9-month reno timeline before the property had its certificate of occupancy, and we're targeting a refinance at month 18 and a sale at month 36. So, something that I think we've run into, or at least had questions about from brokers and acquisitions agents and wholesalers, is if they can still get paid a commission on seller finance deals. And the answer is absolutely yes. Seller finance deals, any type of seller carryback or wrap or subject to, we absolutely can still pay brokers and realtors and acquisitions agents, wholesalers, et cetera, a commission on that. Both of our deals that we've shown so far have been seller finance deals, and we love them. It makes it a quick close. We're going to close on a seller finance deal here in the next month or so, in the next 45 days, and we'll be paying commissions on that. So lovely deal, great returns for investors, and that type of asset is what we love to see. 29 unit is on the smaller end, but we'll look at it really anything 20 units and above. Looks like you're on mute, Andrew.
Oop, I'm just talking into the ether here. This was such a beautiful remodel, as you could tell. And you see that QR code in the middle of our screen. That QR code is for you. If you're using a mobile device, no worries. We'll give you a link here at the end. But that QR code is for you to submit a deal to us. But look at the quality of the finished product when we complete a motel or hotel conversion. We take it from ground zero and turn it around to really luxury A-class style housing, which is beautiful. Yeah, as you can see, the before and after, we removed a little side wall. Notice that wall popping out a little bit. We removed that. We opened up that kitchen. We expanded it to have like an L-shape kitchen. So it wasn't just a galley kitchen. It had more of the feel of a studio apartment. Changed the flooring, changed the paint, added lighting, added electrical, added gas lines. We even added a gas stove and oven. It's just a very impressive conversion. This is not your typical conversion. We most likely won't do this often. We really went all out on this guy just because it was such a sweet deal, and we wanted to really beautify this product. Yeah, the bathroom. We even took up the tub and added tile surround and just turned it into something much more beautiful. Yeah, this property on the exterior was a pretty clean lift. If you drive by it now, you wouldn't recognize it from before. If you notice, there's windows that were not there in the picture on the left. There were air conditioning units. We actually added windows there, and we put new air conditioning units on the base, on the footer area, the PTAC units, the package terminal air conditioning units. So, yeah, night and day difference. Our rental strategy is pretty clean. We meet with the city. We talk about, in a pre-development meeting, we discuss, what our intent is with the property, how we want to change the use and or rezone, and we gather that feedback. Sometimes the city or municipality can make or break the deal. So when you're looking for deals or you want to send us a deal, just know that there's a lot of things that we got to verify with the city first. Most of the time, the city is happy with us cleaning up an eyesore and putting our own cash into it. Most of the time, sometimes there's some hoops we have to jump through. We submit our unique conversion plan and then we secure permits and we start renovations. And this can typically take around 6 to 18 months. If it's a much larger project, which we haven't done anything larger than 100 and something units yet, we could see a longer turnaround time, but usually it's around 6 to 18 months. And when people say, well, what is it specifically that you do? A really short elevator pitch is, we add kitchens to motel rooms. That's what we do. And we do that by opening up what we call the wet wall. The wet wall is the wall that shares the bathroom wall with the main area. So if you see that wall in the back on the top left corner photo, we open that up, we add electrical, we add plumbing, we add waste lines, we close it up, we add our cabinetry, we add our appliances, so on and so forth.
Yeah, so we have lots of different ways we like to acquire different properties. So we have a basic strategy. One of the things is what we have to do is we go through a lot of different properties. We analyze a lot of properties from several different states throughout the country. And so what we found out is we really prefer working with distressed, off-market sellers that either the properties got physical distress, it needs lots of repairs, or maybe the seller's in financial distress. We've run into that where maybe the asset isn't quite performing the way they want, or maybe they've owned it for a long time and they're just tired of being a hotelier and they want to get out of it. And so we're looking for as lowest price as possible, obviously, but we're also able to be creative with the terms of our acquisitions. We do seller finance, we can do wraps, we can take over payments. There's a lot of different avenues that we can go about it in acquiring a property. We're just looking for win-win scenario for the seller and for us. And we're looking to really take a headache off of somebody's hands for the most part, and make everybody happy at the end of the day. So a couple of examples. So we talked about the studios on 4th. So the purchase price was just under $21,000 a door. We gave the seller 8% down, 0 interest, and no monthly payment. So this particular seller was extremely, extremely in a bad place with the property, and so we were able to get very good terms and basically bail him out of a bad situation. Like Andrew said, it was a brothel before, so had legal issues with the city. So the owner was tired and said, "Hey, I need help. Help me get out of this situation." The second property is a property down in Brownsville. So we acquired it just under $25,000 a door. This particular asset, we put 30% down. We've got 8.5% interest over a 10-year term. So we've got a long runway to be able to go in, revitalize the property, do the improvements that we need to do at a interest rates right now, or if you go to purchase a commercial asset, it's slightly higher than this, but it's a manageable interest rate for us, and gives us a long run rate to get the property to where it needs to be for a conversion. So what do we really look for? So number one thing is location, and as you email me, maybe you call me, maybe you text me, the number one thing I'm going to look at before I do anything is the city. Where is it? And the reason is we have certain demographics we're looking for. We're looking for areas that have at least 100,000 population or more, and for the reason for that is we want emerging markets and markets that maybe are resistant to economic up and downs. And so bigger cities tend to be a lot more level and when that's concerned. And then also Sunbelt states. We like Sunbelt states. They tend to be more open to working with us, especially the municipalities. We love Texas, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, and Tennessee. Those are the areas that we've targeted, that we've found really the best opportunities for what we do have been located in those states. The condition, it really doesn't matter. Obviously, we have to have some type of add value element to it. If it's a brand shiny new 2023 motel, we're most likely not going to be your buyers because there's really nothing to do. There's no add value for us in that type of property. Performance, a lot of people are stigglers. Oh, it's not making any money. Well, we're changing the use of the property, so the performance of the property is a varied element that doesn't really apply to us and what we do. And then as far as how many doors, Jacob touched on it. I mean, really 20 would be really our absolute minimum. And really on a hotel scale, 20, you're hard pressed to find even assets with 20. And then up to 250, anything really more than 250 is typically going to be in a deep downtown area. And it's really doesn't really fit the conversion model that we look for. As far as unit layout goes, we really need assets to be around that 300 square foot threshold. That's really our minimum, just because of, as you saw in the McAllen remodel, we put in washer and dryers, we put in refrigerator, we put in TVs. So it's got to have the space to be able to allocate these different items in the property. We also love assets that have kitchens ready to go. Those are the properties that we can really turn and burn. We can get in there and do the remodel really quickly because we don't really have to do any major demolition of walls or things of that nature to get the proper electric and water into the unit. It's already there if there's a kitchenette there. And then we love working with the independent hotel buyer. Not that we wouldn't work with the flag operation, but the independent hotels, it's a seamless process. You're working directly with the seller, and there's no red tape with a flag operation. Would have more red flags and things to deal with if you're trying to do a conversion. And then as far as what we look for, we love exterior corridor. That's our favorite. Not that we won't do interior corridor. So if you look at the bottom left here, this is our Brownsville property. It's an interior corridor asset, and we made it work for us. So preferred exterior corridor, but interior corridor we will look at on certain circumstances. And we like a variety of different options. And obviously this particular picture on top right, it's flagged. Like I said before, we'll work with a flag product. That's not a problem. But we do prefer the independent hotel owner.
Thank you, Blaine. That was great. That was thorough. These properties are they vary. They're so different. And with these 4 images that you see on your screen right now, you're going to notice that each one is so unique. Let's start with the top left. We really like this top left image because it allows us the opportunity to convert that bathroom sink outside of the toilet room into a kitchen sink. We can also add 2 sinks there. We can add a sink for the bathroom. We can put right next to it a sink for the kitchen. So we have flexibility with these types of interior layouts. For the image on the bottom right, you notice that this is a hodgepodge of flooring. This is actually a deal that we looked at in Florida. These have converted 1-bedroom units. So it's pretty exciting what we run into because we see these as apartments already. They're already built that way. You could tell the kitchen's already built. We'd probably remove and or alter the way that wall sits right at the edge of the kitchen. That might be a load bearing wall, but we'd make the place feel like it's a studio apartment. As you can tell, the floor plan's different in each of these images. The one on the bottom left is your very typical floor plan. It's just a long shot of a 300 square foot, maybe 280 square foot apartment a motel room that will eventually turn into a studio. And sometimes they get even smaller than that. You will run across small units, under 250 square feet that, make it kind of tight. If we're in a very large city, like a big city, maybe inner city Dallas, that would work. Having a small space would still work. If we're kind of in the rural area or tertiary or secondary markets, having a small space may need to be combined with a larger or the unit next door to it.
So as you can see, these are some different ones that have kitchenettes in them. And so these are really easy to convert for what we do. Really, we're just replacing cabinets, replacing flooring, replacing countertops, replacing appliances. And for the most part, we repaint, put some new flooring. It's a really quick and seamless process when it has kitchenettes in them. So that's why we like them. And the units tend to be larger, tend to be 400 to 500 square feet. And so that's the other reason we like it, because it's much closer to a traditional multifamily size unit as well. We also like having some sort of amenities are important. You can see the top bottom right. This is a beautiful pool area. I think it'd be very attractive, to somebody like, oh, the pool's beautiful, it's clean. You've got the palm trees and greenbelt area. We also look for assets that, we like to have a laundry facility on site. Some of our assets we can put laundry in, as you saw on that McAllen property. Some they don't fit. It's not, the floor plan doesn't work for whatever reason, and it's harder to do. So if we have this on site, it definitely helps us. And obviously, everybody likes to have a workout facility. If you live in an apartment complex, there's typically, if you live in an apartment complex, you've got some sort of workout facility on site. So we do prefer that if available. And then obviously any type of meeting areas, conference rooms, things of that nature, they're always a bonus because there's different things we can do. We maybe convert them into more rooms. Maybe we leave them as is. We can lease them out for events, business conferences, things of that nature. And will allow us to have some extra revenue for the property as well. So purchase terms. So we like creative acquisitions, and it just helps us to be able to get into the property quickly, help the seller, and we can get out of the property faster as well on a creative. We can do a cash purchase. That's okay. It's just going to be a little bit of a longer process to close with cash versus a creative acquisition. So went through this before. So seller finance, a wrap, subject to seller carry. We've assumed we've taken over payments on loan assumption. We've done that before. So we're really open to anything creative that works and pencils for us. We're open to it. So as far as our price per door range, so we work in several different states and markets. Everything's a little bit different, but typically we're in that $15,000 to $60,000 a door acquisition price. That's typically our range. And then depending on the location, if we're a little bit in a smaller market, maybe something in like maybe the Midwest or North Texas, something like that, the renovation might be a little bit cheaper versus something that if we're in Miami, it's probably going to go closer to the $40K a door because cost of construction in somewhere like Miami or Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, it's going to be more versus something in Texas or Arizona, things of that nature. And then we also like the opportunity to rezone the property. That is the number one home run, cherry on top scenario for us, is to be able to work with a municipality, go to them with a plan and say, hey, we want to take this rundown, struggling hospitality asset and we want to convert it into economically viable studio apartments is what we're going to do, and the plan, and have the city work with us. That is our ideal scenario and what we always strive to do when we acquire assets. All right, so this is where you come in. So we want you to submit deals to us. There's a QR code here to the right, and you also have the website information down below. So basically, we're willing to work with brokers, with wholesalers, and we're always looking for opportunities. And we're always willing to pay anybody that brings us a deal. So if we have to get creative with that, and whether it's an acquisition, referral fee, maybe it's some sort of co-GB partnership, maybe you're part owner in a hotel and want to be part of the action in remodeling the property, we can definitely do that. And so, or maybe you keep some equity in the property long term. like we said, we're very, very creative, very open to looking at all options. As long as the deal works, we're definitely open to it. And yeah, so we're in. If you could go ahead and use the QR code, enter the information. The more information that we have, the better. So I can quickly either say, hey, this is something we'd be interested in, or hey, for this reason or that reason, it wouldn't quite be a fit for what we're looking for. And then here's my contact info. This is actually my cell phone number. So if you call or text it, I will be the guy that answers it. Info@motelstoapartments.com. And then again, there's a QR code. And let's get you paid. Bring us some deals, and we would love to work with you and try to make some magic happen.
Guys, thanks for joining us today. This was awesome. We look forward to hearing from you. We look forward to hearing from brokers, agents. If you're watching this on a replay, that phone number still works. Call him at 2 a.m. in the morning. He'll pick up. In any case, you can email us info@motelstoapartments.com. There's another, if you don't have the QR code available or it doesn't work, the URL at the bottom, motelstoapartments.com/sellyourmotel is the destination to submit a deal. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we are here, and we hope to see you guys next week.